being locked up inside of there. Practically impossible. Another thing, this exact same thing happens in the government. It happens in every phase of the patriarchal system. We see a local neighborhood, we call it the neighborhood block watch. You know, we're having one neighborhood person watch out for the morality of everybody on the block. Anybody ever heard of that one before? And so this person comes around and pretends to be the head elk. And this person says, on my block, we're going to have this kind of morality. No MTV, no this or that or whatever. And they set their belief system up from what their religious patriarchal leader told them that it should be, and they impose that upon their block. And then that block goes to a city ordinances, and the city ordinances line up all this belief system about the way things should be. And then we go to a governmental of a county government, then a state government, and they pass a lot of moral rules. And I'm not saying there's not supposed to be some kind of ruling system, but when there's a separation between this moral rules and reality of the way people should get along with each other, and then we go on to a federal system where we have one country saying, we got all the right rules, we got God here in this country, and God said this is the best country on the planet, and all these people were born into this country because they were chosen by God to be here, and we got the head elk from Hollywood with a big smile on his face telling us exactly how it should be, and got the nice good tank on, you know, with lots of flashy things on the sides of the tank and everything to make it look nice and pretty. And we make sure that the tank is nice and pretty, got a good smile, and the hair is combed just the right way, and the cameras and the makeup is just perfect, so that we can tell the other countries that they're all screwed up, that don't go across the line and defect over there into that country, man, because if you go over there, there's where all the bad elks are, and the devil is going to get you if you go across the line. Once you go across the line and you go out of the right way where God is, the devil's waiting over there, and the devil's going to gobble you up, and you're going to be lost in pain and misery forever. You've ever heard that story before? I'm sure you've all heard the story before. All those religions out there with the people with the big lips and fat gums are beating this out on everybody, and they're not doing anything about it. They're just talking about it. Anyway, there's another system called the Matriarchal System. Now, for all the ladies out there who happen to be viewing this video, and the ones that happen to be here today, just because you're in a female body does not make you matriarchal. Has nothing to do with a female body. There are just as many, practically, probably more, patriarchal women than there are men. What the matriarchal system means is that there is a mellowing out of the territorial system. That not everybody is running around glomming onto pieces of ground and objects of materialism and saying it belongs to them, and building bombs to protect it. What it means is that the sun has come up, and when the sun comes up, it shines on the whole planet, and it doesn't care who catches its rays. It doesn't care whether you're in Elkdom 1 or Elkdom 2, Elkdom 3, whether you're in Russia, whether you're in Africa. Where you are, the sun shines on you. Because the sun is matriarchal. It's very giving. It's a consciousness that Christ talked about. Christ said, do to your neighbors as you would have them do to you. That means that you don't go out. I don't remember if Christ owned any condominiums or miniums. Do you think that he did, John? Did he have a couple of cars in the garage? I didn't think that he did. I didn't think that he had a lot of materialism. I thought he said something like, take no thought for tomorrow. He ate with the poor people, didn't he? I thought he said, don't store up any treasures on earth where a thief could break in and steal them. That would mean that if you had a box, a little cardboard box with a penny inside of it, okay? That would be a treasure. And somebody could break into the box and steal it, couldn't they? That's the bottom line of the story. What he was saying is you don't own things, because creation creates everything, and how in the world are you going to steal it from creation and say it belongs to you? Who in the world gave you the right to put a deed on what creation made and say that it's yours? Just because you got there first, or you inherited it, I know. You got a piece of paper in a special vault that's going to someday deteriorate, just like John's car, and go away, and you're not going to have the piece of paper. You're not going to be there. Because those treasures that you have on the earth don't ever last. They all deteriorate and they all go away. And the only thing that lasts is this matriarchal order. And it's a lasting thing. It's the thing that's on the other side of materialism. It's the opposite side of the coin, or the center line between night and day. Questions?
Yeah, a lot of people would ask the question. We all understand what you're saying about the patriarchal system, but could you give us some idea of the matriarchal order?
The question was, everybody sort of understands what the patriarchal prison about. What is the matriarchal order about? It's a system like Christ talked about. It's like the Mormons had at one time, to a certain extent, where it was a system of, they called it the United Order, like the beehive, where all the bees in the beehive got together for one common cause. Instead of guarding their own territory, their cause became the whole planet, taking care of everything on the planet, rather than getting something together and saying this was their thing. More specific? Sharing?
Well, I would say, from my perspective on it and everything, the United Order failed. And I would
Because of the greed of those people who were taking advantage of it. Now, the rich people would say, how in the world can this work? Because the lazy bums on the bottom will sit there and do nothing and expect us to feed them. And I would say to the rich people, you're just as bad as the lazy bums on the bottom, because you don't do anything but sit around and collect interest on your investment, and there's nothing that you're out there pounding a nail on, or in the ground digging a hole in, or physically producing something. What you're doing is leveraging the system to build your castle. And so you're just exactly like the people on the bottom. The rich are on the top. Just like Christ said, it's impossible for a rich person to enter into the kingdom of God. He was telling the truth. It's not a lie. And this distortion that the eye of the needle happened to be a big gate, and to work a camel through there that you can work it out, is a real distortion. It's part of the tank story. Let's build a lie around ourselves so we can get away with doing what we believe we want to do. They aren't going to get there. They're imprisoned by their materialism. They're earthbound. Their heart is here in the materialism of the planet. It comes about inside with everyone through a lifestyle that they start to live. And there's not many places that are living it. And we invite people to come here and live it. I think that pretty well covers it.
This is matriarchal.
Just like these dogs here. See how peaceful they are?
Boy dog and girl dog.